Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Chloe. So obviously it's been a little while since I have filmed any videos for my YouTube channel, but I'm going to get back into it now and start with more content. So if you have any ideas of any videos you would like to see, then please let me know. So obviously, as you can see in the video, I'm going to be reviewing the Huda Beauty Pastels Mint, and this was kindly sent to me by Missa. If you don't know who Missa is, she's also a Scottish YouTuber. I will have her linked up here and down below, so please go check her out, she's amazing. So if you want to see my first impressions on this palette and how I created this look, then please keep on watching. So obviously this is the palette here. The packaging is really nice, it's just kind of acrylic. So of course this is just a little 9 pan. And I'm going to do some swatches just of every shade. I haven't swatched it yet, I've just put it on my eyes. So the shadows themselves, they do feel really buttery when touching them, and they are quite pigmented. Although I would say when putting them in the eye there is quite a lot of fallout, so I would kind of expect that. And what I will say about these shimmers in this palette, they are kind of more of a topper rather than a pure shimmer. I don't know if you can see. You can kind of see where my brush has been in them. It's like the kind of spongy texture. These two ones are the kind of swirly pattern ones. This one here, the kind of brown and blue, this feels normal, but this one up here, I'll zoom in and show you. If I put a finger in this, my finger's like sinking right in, and you can see that it's like putty. That is really weird. That's the only one in the palette that feels like that. It feels like a cream. So these are the swatches here. Sorry for my big fat arms. I didn't really do this too well. So I'm going to kind of dull the lights a bit. So this is kind of a more true representation of how these look. This one here is the one that I was saying is quite wet feeling. These are obviously the lightest, and these are the shimmers. Almost like shimmer toppers. So that is the swatches all complete. So if you would like to see my first impressions on this and how the palette works, then please keep on watching and make sure you subscribe for more videos. So obviously, because there's not much dark colours in this palette, I'm going to kind of pack them on my lid and blend them out so that we can get a little bit of depth. So first of all, I'm going to go with this shade here, which is just the darkest green. And there's not really much kick up with it. It is really pigmented though. And I've already primed my eyes with Keely's base, so I'm just going to start by packing that onto my lid. I'd say it's a lot more blue than what it looks in the palette. In the palette it does look quite greeny, but it's like quite aqua. There is a lot of fallout, if you can see here. So obviously there's not really much you can do with these palettes. I do think they would be nice as just kind of like a wash of colour all over the lid, but obviously I want to do more than that for a review. So it is really pigmented. It doesn't look too patchy. Sometimes these colours can be really patchy, but it actually looks okay. And for this I'm just using a Jessup 254 brush. It's just a really flat kind of packer brush. So with shades like this you do tend to kind of lose the pigment when you blend, so I will probably have to go in and re-intensify this, but I'm just going to ever so slightly buff the edges, and this is just a Morphe in 514. I used to walk these roads with you. There is a lot. I'll just zoom in a wee bit. You can see all that fallout there. There is a lot of fallout. And when I'm doing this, I'm barely touching the skin and I'm holding my brush right at the very end. This is just to diffuse the edges, so it's a lot easier for the next shade to blend. I feel like this eye's blending a lot easier than this eye. This eye's not blending too well. So now I'm going to go with an M506 from Morphe, and I'm going to take this shade down here. I don't know if you can see the difference. This is more greeny and this one's more kind of blue, so I'm going to go with the greeny one just to add back some green. It is quite a bit more fallout on this, if you can see. And I'm just going right over that edge with that. So this one is very, very chalky. Even on my skin tone, it's very chalky. So I'm just lightly feathering over the edges with that green shade. And I think these colours are the type of colours you're going to have to keep going in with to build up and to blend it out. So of course I'm going to go back in with that deeper green because I do like quite a lot of depth in my eye looks. Obviously this one you're not going to get too much depth, but I would still like a little bit. Yet again, this eye is blending so much better than this eye. You can see the difference, this one just looks a lot more blended. So now I'm going to go with an M507 and I'm going to take that deep green again. And I'm just going to kind of re-intensify. And I'm kind of packing this on at first, just so we can get more pigment. The shades in this palette are beautiful. I think this is more kind of intended for a wash all over the eye kind of look. I don't think it's made for the kind of look I'm going for. See, this eye just looks so much better than this eye. Okay, so this is probably going to ruin the full look, but I'm actually going to dip into some of this brown here on a M507 again. And again, quite a lot of kick up. But I'm just going to try and see if this will... no. I thought I could kind of deepen that up with that brown, but it's a lot lighter than it looks in the pan. I'm just going to go over that patch with the green again. And now I'm just going to take Azoeva 221 and I'm just going to go right round the edges just to kind of diffuse everything out a bit and give us that really diffused look. And I'm going right up into my brow with this, which is why I've not done my brows. This shade is now getting very patchy. So I'm just going to kind of pack it on. So I'm actually going to go and cut my crease off camera just to see how it's going to look, because I feel like I'm getting thrown off by how green it is, and I'm going to put one of the lighter shimmers all over the lid, and then that'll add back the depth if I go in with a lighter colour. Okay, so obviously I've cut the crease. Obviously I'm doing a lot more with this palette than you should. Obviously this palette is made for a wash of colour all over the eye, but obviously I don't want to do that for a review, so I'll zoom you guys in. So this palette particularly really doesn't mix well with concealer. As you can see, when I've cut the crease, it just doesn't want to stick, and even on this outer corner where there was no concealer at all, it's flaked off. This eye isn't so bad, but this eye is definitely a problem. So now I'm going to go in with this kind of greeny tone here, and for that I'm just using a blank canvas S17 brush. I have a feeling this isn't going to work too well with a brush. So you can see it's just a light shimmer. It's the kind of texture that's more of a topper shade. I wouldn't say it's a proper shimmer eyeshadow or metallic. It is more of a topper shade, and it is really hard to pick up on your brush. If you can see, it's kind of that funny way. So I'm just going to build that up quite a bit, and it's one of those shades that sticks to the brush. If you can see that there, it sticks to the brush a lot. So now I'm just going to go in with my finger and see how that works. I wouldn't say it's too different, probably just about the same. And now I'm just going to go back in with this dark green here and just feather the edges in slightly if it will let me. I'm just going to lightly run from side to side to try and blend this. So it already looks so much better with that shimmer on. It is a really lovely shimmer. And I'd actually say the colour is very similar to the little Darien toppers. So an idea would be to put this over top. This is the shimmer here. It is quite a close colour to it. So in future I probably would pair it over something like that. So now the more I actually dip into this shade, the more crumblier it's getting. It's kind of crumbling out everywhere. So I'm actually quite liking it now that I've got the shimmer on. I think the shimmer really does add more to the look. And I think with lashes on it will really help. So normally I would do my under eyes before I do my base, but because this is such a light shadow, I'm going to go off camera, do my base, and then I'll be back for the under eyes. So for my under eyes, I'm not really going to do much. I'm just going to take this dark green, and this is just a little Dress Up 230 brush. It's just a little pencil brush. And all I'm going to do is run this shadow underneath my eyes. And my under eyes have been powdered. It does stick quite nicely even though my eyes have been powdered. And I'm actually just going to blend that out itself because I don't want to lighten it too much with that other shade. So I would say that for my eyes being powdered, that has stuck really nicely. I'm just going to build up a tiny bit more. And then I'm just taking a little blank canvas E10 brush just to blend it out a little bit. This is really different for me because usually I like a lot of depth in my looks and I like to have quite a smoky lash line. But obviously with this palette you just won't really get anything like that. I do quite like it now that everything's done. Now I'm actually going to take this middle shade here. It has a little bit of a blue reflect in it. And I'm going to use this as inner corner highlight. And I'm bringing it right under here. And just tying it all on. I feel like that kind of completes it. If you look at both the eyes. I'd say the shimmery shades are very glittery. And like I said, they are more of a topper. So this is the look complete. I have added on some bottom mascara just because I felt like it was looking really plain. So overall, what do I think? Obviously these type of palettes really aren't meant for building up any kind of depth in anything. These type of palettes are meant for a wash of colour and a bit of shimmer, which obviously I knew, but I did want to try and build it up a bit. So if you can see, I'll zoom in, there is a little bit of patchiness on the outer corners just with that deeper shade. I'm not too bothered by it. I feel like you can't really see it at the moment when you're looking at my eyes, and obviously with pastels you're going to get patchiness if you try to build them up like the way I have. But overall I do think it is a really nice palette and I think it will be good for a wash of colour. And the shimmers, like I said, are so pretty. They are that kind of wet feel. I don't know if you can see my fingerprint in there. That's just from dipping my brush in at my finger. So they are like that kind of foamy texture. But overall I do really enjoy the palette. And again, thank you to Massa for sending me it. I do really appreciate it. And that's all. So I hope you enjoyed this little first impressions / tutorial, and I'll see you in my next video.